Liz here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance and pull some cards for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday, the 23rd of August, through till Tuesday, the 29th of August, 2023. So I trust this video finds you well and things are flowing well for you. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 23rd of August here, and it's just past 10 a.m. Hi Joe, nice to see you. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is pulling or using my oracle cards that I created. Hi Valentina. We've got the Animal Kingdom oracle cards and the Speed of Light oracle, and I've made them the same size so they can be combined together to make a 110 card deck to play with. So I'll be using these cards to find the best guidance and the best cards that we need for this week ahead. And I trust in my cards 100%, and I trust in the way that I work with them. So hopefully we can also trust in the guidance. You'll know if you can trust in the guidance by listening fairly regularly and seeing how things that come up fit for you in your life. I'd be very super surprised if 100% of what I shared resonates with you for the week ahead. So be careful you don't have massive high expectations of 100% success, let's say. Hi Kathleen. But if something, even just one thing stands out and is helpful for you for this week, then that is a great thing. So be careful you don't dismiss the good things because you're expecting everything to resonate. I think if you've been watching for a while, you sort of know how I tend to work anyway. So I'll be as clear as I can with my interpretation of the cards, and hopefully it's something that supports you. Hi Rebecca. So take a nice big breath before I start focusing on the cards for this week. Our theme was so on point for last week. The theme for last week was Sacred Haven, which talked about stopping and standing still and counting our blessings and making time to, smell the roses and practice gratitude and appreciation for people in our life, where we are in our life, but also for ourselves. I've noticed this week as well. Some of us may, in fact, a lot of us, have probably been putting unrealistic expectations onto others, waiting for appreciation or praise or support that isn't there because it's sort of unrealistic to expect that from others. So it's been really important this week that we turn our attention inward and start looking for the support, or being the support and the praise that, or the acknowledgement that we are actually seeking or needing, and be careful that we're not externalizing that kind of stuff. So I wrote about that extensively in the Current Energy Report this morning for members. So I trust it resonates with you guys, my Pillar of Light members out there. So let's turn our attention now to the new reading week. I want to find the best cards for this week, starting Wednesday the 23rd of August through to Tuesday the 29th of August 2023. So I'm shuffling my cards and holding this intention, which I would usually do in my mind, but because I'm doing it on the video, I say it out loud. So the best cards that the majority of us need for this week, the 23rd to the 29th of August 2023, these. And I'm feeling I want to pull the cards one at a time. So I'm going to lay all the cards out face down, and then we'll turn them over day by day. So we have 4 cards on the top and 4 cards on the bottom, and we're very Speed of Light Oracle heavy. And I mean 7 Speed of Light Oracle cards have come out and 1 Animal Kingdom. And what that tends to mean to me is that the Speed of Light Oracle cards tend to be very direct and very brutally honest, straight to the point, and they cut through the BS. They can be quite confronting too, but sometimes we need to face that sort of energy. The Animal Kingdom Oracle cards tend to be a little bit softer. So we've got more intense energy coming. So I'm not turning the cards. We're just going to do one at a time. So this is the card for Wednesday, the 23rd of August. Hi, Regina. And we have Initiation, card 21 for Wednesday. So it says down here, mastery, milestone, progression, and greatness. This is an opening up within the front of our body and stepping forward into something now. So it could be a new commitment that we make. It could be like over this last week or so, especially, there's been a concentrated heavy energy around negative thinking and thinking really low about ourselves and wanting to externalize and seek approval and support and things from other people, from sources outside of us. So I know for me, I can relate to this card in regards to shifting that loop. Even though it was only a short period of time for me, it was way too long. So, because I don't tend to be that way. So I've had to really turn that around and keep practicing my gratitude, keep my mind in check, and use this energy like this initiation card to step forward into this new pattern or this new path or this new way now, or renewed way, because it's not totally brand new, it's just different to what it was last week. So I want to set some new, or not necessarily new, but I want to set some positive, supportive steps for myself moving forward. I don't want to continue in the negative loop and the self-loathing and the seeking external praise and support that's unrealistic and unhealthy. Hi, Snake. I'm going to call you Snake for now until I see what your name is there, but welcome. So, it is resetting things in a way and taking some new steps forward in a different way now, out of the habits and out of the negative patterns and the loops that we find ourselves in, especially mentally. It could also be verbally as well. It could also be actions that we take or behavior that we behave like that maybe is more negative or not that supportive. So I ask myself, is this thought or word or action, is it supportive and healthy for me? Or is it unsupportive or unhealthy for me? And what can I do about shifting that? So there are lots of personal shifts here. And I feel like this is personal breakthrough, but it's an openness that's required. We could stay shut down and we could stay bitter and angry because that person's not supporting me the way I deserve to be supported. That could be our attitude. That's probably completely unrealistic, but that's just how we feel right now. So we could be holding ourselves in that closed off attitude and behavior, which will keep us sort of in that space. Really, it keeps us in that negative loop. So if we can open up and look at it, the whole situation that we're going through, from a new perspective, and start being solution orientated, moving towards something new now, and out of the negativity and the habits that we may have gotten into, even just recently, but maybe in the longer term. So this is initiation. This is moving into something new and being initiated through the testing period that we've been through, and perhaps are still in testing, as being tested as we move into this new chapter or this new doorway for us. Now the next card, which I haven't seen yet, Thursday the 24th of August, is a featured card, and it's definitely our hot featured card at the moment. This is the third time it's come up in the last 4 weeks, I think. And it's the Medicine Pouch. It's a featured card that has further instructions here, which say to fan out the deck and choose another card. So I'm going back to my deck and I'm just going to fan out the cards, and I'm going to grab this card to go with the Medicine Pouch. So we've got card 1 called Boundaries. These have come up together for a reason for Thursday. Let's look at them separately first. So we have Medicine Pouch, card 54, and it says resources, gather, knowledge, and collect. It makes me feel that this last few weeks that a lot of us are looking at our finances and looking at our resources and making changes, or maybe feeling pulled down or giving our power away to things like our debt or the lack of resources that we might have. But also looking at what can we shift here, what can we get back in charge of, what can we empower ourselves with in regards to our resources, especially on the financial front. as well. So this is saving, gathering, this is looking at the long term in regards to the resources that we have or that are available to us now. And it comes up with card 1 called Boundaries. It says truth, protection, courage, and bravery. So this is highlighting boundaries, and we might find, especially on Thursday or even at this time, that we need to, or it might be helpful for us to really look and consider our boundaries and making sure that we aren't giving our power away to external things like I've been talking about, and that we're also not giving our power away too much to the resources perhaps that aren't there or the resources that are lacking for us at the moment. And let's look at what we do have and what we can sort of get in charge of, if you like. So what can we do to help support ourselves in the long term? What boundaries do we need to set up or put into place so that we stop wasting our money, for example, and we are in charge of how we spend the money or the resources that we have, just as an example. So boundaries in regards to our finances, maybe something that you've been thinking about. And finances, I mean, I don't think this card's, I can't remember this card ever coming up so often. So this is very strong right now for a lot of us. Friday the 25th of August, and we have the Healed card, card 34, and it says golden light wounds, blocks, and dissolve. This is the physical healing card for the physical body. So on Friday, some of us may be feeling out of sorts or be dealing with physical things that physical ailments, hopefully not injuries, but there might be physical discomfort or something happening in our physical body that we need some healing time for. So it might be helpful for some of us, if we can and if we need it, to make some time for healing. So this could be time for rest, time to nourish our body with some nice food like some soup or a nice cup of herbal tea or a bit of extra water on Friday, or whatever it is that we need, some rest that our body needs to replenish and basically be supported. So it's very much a physical body support card and energy for Friday. If you're dealing with things like issues from your past or issues that are being triggered at this time, then Friday you might find, if you're dealing with energetic sort of self-healing and healing and working on your issues, that things may come to a bit of a head on Friday, and it may be a great time to release. So I think of healing, especially self-healing, as a time of release and a time of letting go. Because I think we don't, well, I notice I catch myself every now and then, like last week or a few days ago, I didn't realize sometimes we just hold on for some crazy reason. So if we can hold the intention to let go, and I know for me just a few days ago, it was more like the letting go of the mental stuff that was really heavy in this last week, and not just for me, for a lot of people. This lack of self-belief, this negativity, and this seeking praise externally, which is never healthy and not really a good idea at all. That I had to really consciously get back into the letting go. And every time that thought popped in, I had to just release it and I had to let it go. I sort of imagine it leaving me, like I'm surrendering. And sometimes I even think or say, I'm letting you go. Basically get out. Get out of my head. So I think letting go is probably something also to keep in mind, especially for Friday, but as we're moving through the physical healing or the energetic healing that we need. Okay, Saturday, we've got our one and only Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's the Nautilus, card 39. And funny, because it says to break negative patterns and avoid going back to them. So we could also think of this as bad habits that we've gotten into. So this could be mental, verbal, or behavioral. It could be stuff that we're doing like addictions or something that we do regularly as a habit or a pattern, or we're stuck in this negative loop. This is getting our attention for Saturday, but it's strong now anyway. So this is about looking at or realizing, recognizing that we have this negative pattern or this bad habit, whatever it is we determine. Hopefully we're aware of it enough to see that it's a problem, so that we can break it and take steps to break it. So breaking it, I think the key would be, first of all, to realize that we have a problem, a negative pattern or a bad habit or whatever it is that sort of under that umbrella, that we recognize that there is a problem here and we can't keep going, or we don't want to keep going down the same path of destruction. It's like a self-destruction, that we recognize that it's going on and we don't want to keep going down that path. So recognizing that's a really important, really early step. And then we can look at the whole situation from all different angles, different perspectives, and just get a view, a good bigger picture view of the situation to see where a solution may be found. Where and how might we be able to free ourselves or break that negative pattern? This card's also about the shell that we've put up around ourselves. And this is what often happens when we do have those negative patterns or the bad habits, that they're usually like a shell that we're protecting ourselves from something. We might be avoiding some emotion or something that happened in the past, or avoiding parts of our life today that we may not really be happy or content with. So we tend to put over this facade over us, or this shell over us, to protect ourselves or to avoid the real problem. So if we can recognize and realize there's a problem, and then look at what we need to do to break that shell or break out of that negative space, basically to free ourselves. And it will require us to be vulnerable, because this shell keeps our vulnerabilities, the mushy parts on the inside, it keeps that protected. Just like the shell of this nautilus, or the shell of a crab, or the skin of a snake, for example, or our own skin. It keeps all the mushy stuff on the inside, it keeps it protected. So when we're sort of threatening that issue and whatever it is that's keeping that barrier up, that facade, that shell, it's going to have us feel very confronted, most likely, and resistant, and probably really, really vulnerable as we find the courage to crack open this shell and really look at the mushy insides and what our real issue is. So it's very confronting, but also a great opportunity for us to improve ourselves, which for me personally, I find really important to me. I want to be the best person I can be in all situations. And I'm certainly not perfect, and I'm a work in progress like all of us. But I do have that's one of my prime objectives, is to keep improving myself. So I don't want to hold myself back. Plus, it feels uncomfortable to be hiding, and it feels uncomfortable to be holding onto that facade or that mask, and it feels very uncomfortable to be in some negative habit, a bad habit or negative pattern for too long. And I mean, for me, 3 days is just excruciating for me. So maybe that's helpful for you. All right, Sunday. I'm going to pull 2 cards for Sunday the 27th. I haven't seen them yet. Everything else is Speed of Light Oracle. This is the first one for Sunday, which is New Pathways. So this is like the sun coming out now. And Purification. Okay, so it feels like there might be a shift potentially over the weekend for us. And the key is going to be in breaking that negative pattern. So realizing there's a problem and looking at, finding courage to really look at the issue, break things down that have been we've been hiding behind. Because this feels like the sun wants to come out. And it may come out Sunday, that's what these cards are for, but it also depends on how slow or how quickly we are willing to break that negative pattern. So this might push later into the week, or it might even come up, say, tomorrow. If you can face your negative pattern or bad habit now, then you might find the sun starts coming out for you later today or tomorrow. So these are our cards potentially for Sunday, but after we've broken that habit. We've got the card 18 called New Pathways, and it says options, children, birth, choice, and life's path. So this is showing that there are options, there are solutions available to us, and we may not have seen them before we've cleared this shell, or however you visualize it to be, this breakthrough. It really is a breakthrough, and sometimes breakthrough comes after breakdown, and we might break down to one of the lowest points we've been to, and from there we can break through. So often breakthrough comes from breakdown. And that's what this feels like. It feels like breakthrough, and we're breaking through the barriers that we've been hiding behind, or that we've been holding ourselves back with, or that we've been keeping our insecurities in play with as well. So this card is the options, it's the solutions, it's the opportunities, it's multiple pathways that are opening up and are potentially available to us now. So there is hope here for the future, and that's what breakthrough brings. It brings that breakthrough, and it's like a force that pushes through those boundaries. And it comes up with card 8 called Purification, which says cleanse, detoxification, and toxins. This is clearing, this is purging. So once we shift and once we break through, there might be purging and clearing that's required that we may just automatically feel like we move into. It could be spring cleaning, could be sorting things out that we've had there waiting for our attention for some time, could be getting paperwork into order as well. But there is certainly potentially a physical cleansing, but also potentially emotionally and mentally as well. As we really, well, cleansing is letting go. It's letting go, it's surrendering, it's releasing the toxins and the issues that we've been carrying. When are we going to be able to let these things go? How long are we going to let ourselves be burdened by the past and wear that burden so heavily for however long it's been? When is going to be the point where you can move through that? Hi, Pascal. So this might be the sort of thing that we're looking at the moment as we break through. Now, Monday, the 28th of August, we've got the Jellyfish, card 55, and it says vulnerable, flow, sensitive, and protection. So there's a vulnerability in this card, and this is us out of the shell. So before, when I talked about the Nautilus with the shell, but this is almost like mushy on the inside, like I spoke of. The Jellyfish is like the Nautilus without the shell. So this is us free of the shell now, free of that barrier and that burden and the facade and the mask or whatever it is that you resonate with that speaks to you at this time. This is the vulnerability, but there is a protection in this too, because it does take strength to be vulnerable. You know, it's actually harder, I think, sometimes to let ourselves be vulnerable because it takes courage. Sometimes it's easier to keep the facade going because we might be scared of confrontation or scared of what might happen if we let our walls down. But this card, the Jellyfish, is showing that yes, we might feel vulnerable, but there is something really protective and strong within that there's nothing, it's not to be afraid of, is that vulnerability. So the Jellyfish protects itself. Even though it's all mushy and it reveals this sensitivity in this card, it is still very protective of itself in its own way. It has healthier boundaries now instead of boundaries based on the issues that we carry that then become defensive walls that we hide behind. So this is us out of the shell. So potentially, again, breakthrough this week. And then the card for Tuesday, the 29th. This is us ready to go. Card 16, stepping in. It says solo, commitment, test, allow, and flow. So we've got flow for Monday and Tuesday. Flow is in the Jellyfish card as well. So flow is moving with the river, the stream of your life, going with that natural rhythm of your life. It's on the surfboard and riding the waves through. It's not swimming up against the stream, which is sometimes what we do when we're trying to control things or have things go the way we want them to go, or we're trying to avoid our, whatever it is our issues might be. When we're trying to avoid those, it's like trying to swim upstream. So when we surrender and let go and we stop trying to swim against the stream, which requires a lot of effort, we get exhausted and drained doing that, especially over an extended period. Once we surrender and we just stop swimming and we just let the current take us and just see where we end up, and we just have to trust. We just have to trust in the flow of where our river is taking us, the river being the course of our life. And it might take us on a bit of a wild ride through the rapids for a little bit, or we might come to land on the river bank for a little bit for rest and to recoup and renew ourselves. Then we go off again. So moving with the flow is coming up for Monday and Tuesday. But this card's very much about a commitment now, a new commitment that we're making, a commitment to break that habit or to start a new, more healthy habit or pattern or intention for ourselves moving forward. Usually, this card brings a solo commitment. So if you've been waiting on others to commit for you or with you, or to give you the green light, it might be, do you want to keep waiting for that? How long have you been waiting for? So this is a commitment we need to make to ourselves. And it could be that commitment to stick with this, keeping this habit, this bad habit that we've realised this week at bay. It could be doing some positive things, some exercise daily, or some practice genuine gratitude about where we are in our life. That might also help us create a new positive habit, a positive commitment moving forward. So this is it. This is us now deciding that this is the way I would like things to be. Hi, Asher and Katie. So very intense this week, which is really not surprising, and it's sort of still flowing from last week. So see how you go, and hopefully the cards and what I've shared have supported you for this week. So before I pull the theme card, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on Facebook, please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. So I'm recording these or streaming these live on YouTube now, and then share the video back to Facebook tomorrow, because I can't do that till the next day. So if you'd like to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. If you'd like to start working with your own deck of cards, you can work with them individually or join them together like I have. Or there's lots of other things I've also got on my website. Then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Okay, let's grab our best theme card. The theme card will help bring this whole week together and help us see the bigger picture for this week, starting Wednesday the 23rd of August through to Tuesday the 29th of August 2023. And the best card for our theme for the bigger picture is, thank you, well, we've got an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, very rare in our reading today, and we have a dragon. I knew it, because a different dragon just dropped out, and I looked at the cards when I was shuffling, and there was a dragon on top, different dragons. But we've got the Spirit Dragon. Now, the Spirit Dragon is the most powerful card in the whole deck, because we have 5 dragons, which are all powerful, and this is like the king or the queen of the dragons. So this is the cherry on top. This is the most powerful card in the deck. So it's adding amplification really to all the cards for this week. So this could be a very intense time of breakdown and a very intense time of breakthrough. So let's be aware of that and try and move with it if we can, because the energy is favourable for this sort of breaking through. And this is probably what we've been asking for some time. This is card 26, called the Spirit Dragon. And it says heightened energy. So like I said, this amplifies everything. This also highlights our connection with spirit. So our loved ones in spirit are around us close at this time. And we may also find it helpful and supportive to meditate and connect with spirit in our own way. So through meditation or intentions to support our journey forward. Now, when we're in a heavy negative mental state and a mental loop and that bad habits, and we're behind that shell and that facade and those sort of things I've been talking about, it's very difficult to, we probably don't even think about our connections to spirit, and we probably certainly are not aware of it, because the thing is, when we're not feeling connected to spirit, we're feeling separate and we're feeling alone. So we're at conflict with ourselves when we're the opposite of this. So this in some ways is highlighting the opposite of being at conflict. Oh, sending you love there, Asha. been at conflict with ourselves, which is another way of looking at what I've been talking about here. That separation with ourselves, that being at conflict with ourselves, is the opposite of feeling that strong connection to spirit and strong connection to everything, and feeling like we belong and we're a part of something. So let's not be afraid of dropping into that conflict and dropping into the opposite of that sense of connection, because it's in there where the gift can be found. It's in that breakdown that leads to breakthrough. And it almost always happens like that. It's very rare. In fact, I can't even really think of anything off the top of my head where breakthrough just happens. It usually drops first, then breaks through. So let's not be afraid of dealing with the opposite of the breakthrough first, because it's not going to happen if we don't drop into that. So heightened energy, probably heightened in the polarities this week, but this is a very favorable time to really break through. So enjoy. Let's do our best, and let's work with this energy as best as we can. We are certainly not alone in doing this, because there are a lot of people that feel this way. So if you do even just a little bit, you're not alone in your thinking. So feel the support that's coming in, and I trust that Something Shared supports you moving forward this week. So have a great week, and I will chat and connect with you again very soon. Take care, and bye for now.